Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Temi Ogu, and with me I have a very special guest. My school mother from secondary school. What are the odds that 10 years later, it's more than 10 years. When did you leave?
2012.
So that's like 11 years.
Oh my god, 2023. Yeah, 2023. Yeah,
What are the odds that 11 years later we'll be in the same country? So I remember, I don't even know, she just came to my mind like how many weeks ago?
Yes, that's so
She came to my mind like how many weeks ago. So I messaged her, I'm like, oh, how are you? Yada. And she was like, oh my god, you were also on my mind that she's coming to my city. And I'm like, wait, you stay here?
I didn't know that.
I'm like, you stay here?
Like, that's my country, girl.
I told you we're in Brazil, you know. So I'm like, really? I don't know, but it just came to my head and I'm like, wow. So definitely we had to meet up today, and I'm like, what's all that joy? That's great content. So today we're going to be talking about like the 5 lessons we learned from secondary school,
boarding house
edition. So to be honest, I didn't know how we met, but like Precious told me now that she thinks, say it.
Okay,
let me not blow my
She was a cool dude, a cool girl. So I think I was just like drawn to her. Like, I believe we have juniors and seniors we want to be friends with, but then we can't be friends with our juniors. So having that school mother thing breaks that barrier. Like, you're my school daughter, but you're really my friend. Like, there's someone like that I like having around, but I can't be chilling with you because I have classmates. I'll be like, are you okay?
Yes, and someone that you genuinely care for.
Exactly.
And to be honest, I feel like when you had like a school mother or whatever, like, number one, nobody can steal from you because they will ransack the whole hostel and catch the people that stole or did something bad to you. You can escape a lot of punishments, and also because they have gone through different phases in life, exams and all whatnot, so they can give you their past questions, they can give you their clothes, they can give you like everything. If you want extra food, and I feel like seniors sometimes they have like all this extra food, extra stuff. They have like extra privileges. So if you're younger, like you'll be able to enjoy from. Although let's put a caveat. I went to a Christian school, and now there are some secondary schools that they used to do very dark, mysterious things that should not come to the light of day. But I didn't have the experience, and it's been really beautiful. Yeah, I still have the jacket she gave me when she was leaving school.
I
still have it. It's in my box. It's just that my box is not here. Mind. I still have it. But yeah. So like, what do you think? Was your like major lesson? My major lesson is have. I mean, nowadays we call it mentors, but I would say that you should go seeking for school mother or school. It's sometimes it just naturally comes. Like she said, like. There's a whole family tree that I love. I just knew that I had a school grandmother that solid friendships.
I'm trying to think of something really deep and like.
Oh man, we just watched one scary movie. I think my own for me the third one would be spiritual, like the spiritual. Like I was in choir as well. I think you were in choir as well.
No, never.
You were never in choir.
No, never.
Hey, but you used to sit in front like the third row. What department were you in?
Was I in any department in school? I don't think so. I was I was a sideline kind of babe. When there was like, the choirs that sing at prize giving day, like the general ones, I think I was in it once, but I never made the cut.
Yes, choirs were so competitive. So even if I used to sing off key, I was so happy that I was there. I was just singing.
And did you play violin? Did you learn?
No, I won that one. My biggest regrets is that I didn't learn how to play the sax, but my husband plays the sax. So
does he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I feel like, that feeling when some people feel like when their parents didn't study something, they make their child study it, and what my husband studies, so I can say that, okay. But I think, being spiritual is very key.
Those are 2 lessons from you now. Well, am I giving any? Oh, gosh, okay. So, 4th lesson. One thing the school taught us is discipline and like hard work.
Yeah.
I don't think you can find it anywhere else.
It just in a very bad way. I don't think.
It was it's a lot for like a child because we were kids, to be quite honest. But it was very
jump, you had
they wanted us to be disciplined in everything. Like I used to get what did I get punished for most? Not eating. Like they even wanted you to be disciplined, like to eat.
honestly, siesta time, like everything. And I think like for some people it traumatized them a lot. But I think like that's because I came from a strict household, so it wasn't as like, and we were only girls. And my dad, if he sees you with a boy, if a boy even winks at you, you're in trouble. You're in trouble that night. By
no wonder you were Metron's favorite girl.
You were in because my father even used to tell Metron and keep an eye on us. He was like, as if I won't say money, Daddy, I'm sorry, but it was bad. Like they had literally Metron on speed dial, that kind of thing. For the fact that they influenced my room and said me and my sister must be bunker.
Yeah, I was like, But Metron really liked you, didn't she? I felt like you were one of her. Was it AM? Who liked you?
I don't know.
You were one of.
It's possible that Metron really liked me.
I think I remember her talking about you very fondly, just hearing it.
I think that was my every time I see how, and I think also like I'm Yoruba, right? We grew up in a river. We grew up in Port Harcourt, so like there were not a lot of Yoruba people. I think in my class there were like 3 or 4, so maybe also that helped. You know Yoruba as well. And so they also liked you now.
She did, but then I used to get in trouble a lot for the silliest things, like maybe I'll come down late because me I'm
yes, and then she would not Precious would not rub Vaseline, and then my school mirror was contraband, sprays were contraband, a lot of things were contraband. Yeah. So like every time they say, "You're rub pomade, eh?" So
oh my
god. And then she'll come, and then Precious was this like prim and proper lady. So by the time she comes downstairs, she's smelling nice. There's a Gatox on her dress, and your sandals is like polished and everything. So maybe she's like maybe they're just like
it was not a lot. Me and this
and our school was also deeper life, so it's like vanity upon vanity.
Yeah. I don't know if I was very like. I feel like my seniors, the girls above us,
Precious didn't
they were
she was nonchalant.
That's the thing. I was very much about a lot of things.
And she would just be like,
Yeah, I was very, and I think that got me in trouble a lot. I was nonchalant a lot of things, assignments, food, earliness. I was like, whoa, we get it.
Maybe I got that sprays from her, but
I was just like, whatever, man. What are you gonna do? But the set above us, they were the ones to get in trouble for looking good.
Do you know that my school didn't care? They would deboard a whole set.
Oh yeah.
There was a guys that said they will not cut their hair. They deboarded all of them.
They deboarded all the boys in my set.
Oh yes, it's your set. They said they called them down. You say you will not cut your hair?
I don't know why they deboarded them, but I know they deboarded all the boys in my set, and they cancelled our graduation because the boys refused to behave appropriately.
Yeah, they cancelled their graduation. So like my school, they don't care. Like if you mess up, they mess you up. That kind of thing.
Expel all of them.
What was the lesson that you said? Discipline.
Like I hated it then, but now I kind of like I get it a bit more. I didn't even hate it in the moment, but when I first finished, I'm like, this is horrible. This is punishment. Like I have so many aunties and uncles because my parents didn't come to school a lot because they always had some mission thing. So I always had like a lot of aunties and uncles coming to see us instead of like associate pastors who would look after us, and they all hated my school. Because they were like,
if a mother wears trousers, oh my god, you'll pick on your child forever.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing again, like your parents, my parents like were very like Yoruba, very respectful, very strict. So they used to be like, do to them whatever you want, punish them.
Yes. So you know that when you do something bad, they will.
There's no point.
The parents will act.
Yeah,
so that's how
want her bitter.
Yeah. After they not say it's for your good. Oh my god. Yeah. So I think the discipline helped, and I think like obviously I think a lot of people couldn't I don't know, maybe it's because we came from a strict household, but I think a lot of people couldn't cope with that, and obviously that would have made their experience more traumatizing. And I also think like growing up, because of that discipline, and I think as a child, discipline is so important because you don't do things as you feel, because feelings change all the time. You kind of do things as you're told, and then even as you're told, you then start to say, okay, wait, this is wrong, okay, this is not wrong, and then you start to have a voice of reason, so you kind of know your left from your right, than just going and just stumbling and not knowing. Do you get?
Like walking into mistakes over and over again.
Yeah,
discipline seriously clears up a lot of stuff. Like you don't have to experience every bad thing to know it's bad.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to experience is not always the best teacher.
That would be the fact that I have learned that it's a very small world, and that in school you really need to build the reputation that you want to be known for. I know a lot of girls now, even though some people would have said they have repented, but because of what we know they used to do, or what I don't know, it's girls and boys, because of what we know they used to do or what was their nature before. I know that they might be new people, but some people might not get to experience the newness
that they are.
And I'll give this example because when I was in London, there was this particular girl. She had an organization. She was doing so nice, and then I was talking to her about this organization. Oh my gosh, she's so good. Oh, do you think you can patronize them? And then she was like, oh, what's her name? Immediately she saw her name. She's like, oh my god, no. Like they went to the same school together. Sorry.
It's good now, leave it.
So they went to the same school together, and she was XYZ, and that's how she didn't get it. So I think that sometimes people don't have the get it though. That's unfair, but if you've done something tragic to someone and the person maybe feels you're like that, and especially because she didn't meet the girl, she heard of the girl through me, so like it's like the last impression she had of her was not good. And it's not like I know how to
Did she do something to personally hurt her, or was it just okay, then that's
and the fact that I didn't know her to vouch for her, that she actually I just know her on social media, so that wasn't. So I think like reputation really states, and the world is a very, very small world. You should be nice to people, you should just be good to them. I know that maybe I had an era where I was probably mean to juniors. I'm sorry if you're watching this. But I think it's also like when you grew up in that era that seniors will make you do you
think seniority was really bad? Maybe it got worse like the further it got down the line, because I feel like
seniority that made me, the same person we were talking about this after, she made me fetch water for her and she'll be laughing.
Oh my god, I don't remember.
Secondary school is experimentation for guys. Like there were so many times that guys would be like, oh, have I knocked this girl, like things like that. I'm telling you, like I heard of different stories. You know, man. Why are you acting short?
I'm just remembering. I'm recalling.
So like different things that happened. So I just felt like guys were just really using girls, and it really disgusted me. And I think we're watching a movie now, and it also pains me sometimes when like the vulnerability of girls or like their situations are being used against them. And maybe that's why like I keep sharing my story on like being intentional. I even remember like because of how boys always used to make it a big deal. Like there was one time I entered inside a class and the guy was just laughing and he was writing the list of all the girlfriends that he had
in secondary school.
Yes, and this was the guy that anyways yes. So this guy was new, right? So this guy, I'll share it. Let's see, this guys take your notes, and then I'll probably break this video down into two. But anyways, so this guy was popular. You know that thing when you like come in
halfway, then everybody knows you,
and then he was like a good footballer as well and everything. So everybody, and then when he now liked me, and then it was not as if they were catching feelings and stuff. Everybody like, hey, but like I entered inside the class, right? And when I entered inside, aside from the fact that the guy had a terrible anger problem, somebody talked to me and then he ended up beating the guy up. So that was terrible, and I'm like, nah. Before I was like, oh, I like bad guys because it's as if, because honestly, like in secondary school, it was I see the bad guys are the ones giving the girls good gifts, and my best
yes, that thing was
the bad guys, the rich guys, like
honestly, the gifts, doing the most. So
in my head, I'm like, I want a bad guy. Thank God I married a pastor. God, thank you for saving me. Thank you, my Lord. Anyways, God, this video is so chaotic. But anyways, so so I mean, I entered inside the class. He was with a group of his friends. This was the supposed crush. The guys were laughing, and he was like writing the list of all the girls he had stuffs with, or that were his girlfriend. And this was like up to 10, and there was like a longer number. And immediately I saw that list, I'm like, oh my god, I'm never entering inside this list. I think the guy asked me twice, and I said no.
Just cause,
and I made a promise there and then that I'm never going to kiss a guy in secondary school. Not because of anything, but just because I saw the way they were ridiculing girls, or they were making girls look like
I don't know if I should say this.
Guinea pigs.
Yeah. Okay. Even that's why I didn't kiss anybody in secondary school, but they still liked.
So what was yours in like summary?
Everything. I feel like in summary, I have to say I don't know if I liked my secondary school experience. I didn't hate it, but maybe I hate it by association. Because aside maybe us or certain people who can kind of look at it with brightness. Because one thing I say I cherish most about Graceland is the relationships I built, and to see how well a lot of people are doing. One thing I like about school is that, as you know, a lot of people from there are doing well.
Yeah.
So.
Oh well, you're kind of out of the frame.
I am. Probably been out the whole time, but it's good. I don't want to say it too much. So like that's one thing I'm grateful for, like the relationships I built, like just and the fact that as we kind of tend to stay in touch anyway, in my like no one seemed to have any ill like feelings towards like each
I
other.
mean, we stayed with each other for 6 years.
But there are people who went to school and they're like, I never want to see anybody from that experience again. Yeah, a lot of people hated our school, and I feel like I hated by not hate, it's such a strong word. I feel those feelings by association as well. Like I understand it, so I'm like, yes.
Or maybe I had blocked it.
Yes.
I think I'm.
But because as well, like I was saying, my brain works in a way that if something is unpleasant, there was a time. This is unrelated, but I got almost kidnapped in Nigeria one time, and for the longest time I forgot. And then just like, has anything interesting ever happened to you or anything scary? And then one day I just randomly remembered, and now I'd never forget again.
Almost get kidnapped.
It's a story for another day. It's a story for another day. But like that, I think that's when I started to realize that sometimes, and then I think then I kind of broke away from it. So maybe now that we're having this conversation, I will start to remember certain things. So like even though I had a lot of unpleasant experiences in school, I don't particularly remember them. But I just know by association that this wasn't like a very great experience, because I feel like my brain has been like, yeah, that wasn't nice for you, blocked. But I am very grateful for like a lot of the foundational stuff I learned, I think. And I also feel like there's so much more that was overdone and scary. Like
witchcraft, definitely.
Or even just the way they went about discipline, and was very scary sometimes. Like the owners of the school could be very like, I remember some of my friends who used to get, it literally felt like, I don't know, it just, a lot of us just, I don't know. But and the thing is, why I know that I don't hate it, because I feel like I would go to that school again.
Yeah, I feel like
I feel like I would, but I'm just like, why?
And I think there's some teachers that also like made me like my civics teacher. I really loved him. I think because of how I saw his life. I would share a little name drop later. And even one history teacher that they discontinued.
That's my favorite person on the planet.
Yeah, and then my economics teacher. So like, I think sometimes like even when I was like, I felt like sometimes I'm like I was not passing some subjects because it was like super competitive.
That's one thing about, that's where the hard work comes in, because everybody literally, they only pick the brightest and best in that
you
school.
wake up by like 4 a.m. ish to start reading, and you can read till only God knows when. And when you're reading, it's like you're separated. So it's like a boot camp. It's like an excellent boot camp.
Every man for himself, but still like everyone still has to.
So it was like a military training boot camp kind of thing. So everybody kind of looked out for each other. As our lessons, I think we talked about the importance of building friendships, having a good reputation, the fact that sometimes secondary school is all about experimentation and sometimes being vulnerable, and you should try not to be like that, especially if like you're a junior or whatnot. Know that you're unique. What would you say? Also, we talked about taking spirituality seriously, and what else?
Like
and friends.
Yeah.
Like if you're currently considering boarding house, I don't know how it is now, but back then
11 years ago,
I think like our experiences have shaped us. Like we were even talking, because it was a Christian school, most of the hymns we still sing them till now. Like in like my downest times, I still remember like the hymns like I'm a Millionaire.
oh my god!
So I think like it instilled some cultures in us, and it exposed us to a lot of things as well. And I'm grateful that 11 years later, I have my school mother sitting beside me. So yeah, I think like
we're not faking it, guys. We mean it.
Yeah, like I feel like, to me, I really love boarding house and view that responsibility. Even the fact that like sometimes like our rooms get inspected, you have to learn how to work with people, make relationships work. We were really, really disciplined, so sometimes you didn't have to choice, you just had to make it work. So I think like that made us really resilient.
Yes.
Yeah, it really made us resilient despite all. So I'll definitely go back to boarding school again, a Christian boarding school. What about you?
Yes, I would. Like I was saying, I would still go back to that school. I don't know why, but I would. I just know that I would. Because all the things you said are so right. Like it's definitely, even if I try to sometimes be like, no, it was really bad, it really laid the foundation to be all the things that like I am and I'm going to be. And it's so nice to see people like you and so many other people doing so well from like just
honestly,
shaped by
they're
those
really
experiences.
stars from our school. And yeah, so like you never truly know. The world is really small, and we hope that you've enjoyed our chat. Maybe we're gonna do a reunion some other time, and hopefully
we live in the same country now, so
yeah, we would. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know, what were your secondary school experiences? Did you have any witchcraft thing? Did you have any, like, would you go to boarding house again? I know some people that said they would rather be day students. I'm like, huh? Sorry.
this thing was so much worse.
Can't be me. Can't be me.
Wait, you never experienced this student, not even a tiny bit.
There was a time, but I didn't like it.
The day student felt like my first.
I remember one time one teacher punished me bad, and I had to go home. I was literally on drip. So I think like
this girl is a real butter child. She's really.
So there were really aspects of
they couldn't stress her life at all.
Honestly, like, don't stress me. I didn't wish to stand for long stuff. I don't remember. Anyways,
they really minded her properly.
But yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you in our next video. Let us know, what are your secondary school experiences? Just experiences. Just us in the comment section. And yeah, see you in our next video. Bye.